Welcome to Between Meetings and Motherhood. I'm your host, Alexis Starks. This is a rebrand of the Reentry Room podcast. So if you're new here, if this is your first time listening, the podcast was previously named The Reentry Room. And if you're not new here and you've listened to a few episodes, it's still all about motherhood. This is still the space where we talk about work and power and identity and motherhood, not as separate conversations, but as lived realities all happening at the same time. This is just a renaming of the podcast to Between Meetings and Motherhood. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. And today's episode is about things that we've normalized at work, but that actually quietly and consistently fail mothers and don't make any sense. Not because women aren't capable, but because the systems were never actually designed with women in mind and with this reality of caregiving and work responsibilities, which we know. I'm your host, Alexis Starks. I'm the founder of Executive Moms. I'm the editor-in-chief of Mothered Magazine, and I'm a mom of 2 toddlers. And so I want to get into this first with that there's so many things that we've normalized at work that really only makes sense if you assume that everyone has unlimited capacity, no caregiving responsibilities, and a life that just neatly bends around your job. Your job is everything. You can show up as 100% worker, and there's no life outside of that. And moms struggle in that system, and many people struggle in that system because we have a life outside of work. But mothers, we tend to personalize it because there's this expectation that we just absorb anything wrong and society expects and assumes that we'll make it our personal problem. And so it gets labeled as burnout and we think we're burning out, or we have confidence issues or a lack of resilience. But we've actually normalized this constant availability and 100% worker all the time as commitment, right? We've normalized having early meetings and late meetings and messages that expect immediate replies, that you expect that you'll have Slack on your phone or Teams or I don't know, whatever else there is, right? Let's just go with Slack. And so you can instantly reply, right? And even if you're working from home or even if you're in the office, you can instantly reply to emails and messages. And that's unrealistic to expect. And then for mothers, this availability has a whole additional layer of logistically speaking. It's not even about being motivated or not. It's about logistically, there's so much more going on. Who's doing pickup? Who's homesick with the kids? Who's covering childcare? You can't see, I'm counting on my fingers. But we're treating this constant access as professionalism that actually penalizes anyone who's responsible for other humans or has any other sort of responsibility or, life outside of work, that you cannot be 100% on all the time at work and have any sort of additional responsibilities. We've normalized productivity without any sort of interruption, which is unrealistic. No one can even work 8 hours straight. We've normalized this deep focus and long stretches of uninterrupted time, which that's great when they do happen, but it's certainly not going to be every single day. People don't operate that way. Our brains don't work best that way. And but caregiving comes with interruptions by design. Even if your kids are school age, there's doctor's appointments, there's activities, kids get sick, things happen, and mothers don't lack focus. They're just managing life in real time all the time. And we've normalized that, just speak up as the solution to everything. And that puts the onus on moms to speak up, and that hopefully they feel safe enough to speak up and ask for flexibility and ask for support or ask for clarity on priorities and speak up and hold boundaries. But we don't acknowledge that mothers are often judged and penalized when they do that. If they don't have a psychologically safe space for them to speak up and say to their manager, hey, I need flexibility or I need support, then, and they get judged for it or they get their capabilities questioned, that's not a fair system. And so we need to acknowledge that even though we expect moms to be able to speak up and that's the solution, they can't always do that. That's why I keep talking about systems all the time And yes, self-advocacy is so important, but if your system doesn't react positively to that self-advocacy, it doesn't matter how much you scream blue in the face that you need help. And so we have to fix the systems and the workplaces. Because when a mom is silent at work, it's not always a lack of confidence. Sometimes it's just strategic self-protection so she doesn't hurt her potential and hurt her future at work. And because we've normalized that career timelines are linear. That's the definition of success, right? You grow and grow and climb up and up the ladder. There's no pauses, there's no recalibration, there's no time off, there's no deviations. But motherhood is not linear. And so we can't expect women to evolve on a straight line while our lives are constantly, I don't know if you can see me, if this will be on video, but I'm like waving my hand. Anyways, these norms were not built for mothers. And so when women struggle inside of these systems and norms that have been conditioned into us, they're not failing. It's just the system wasn't designed to hold the full reality of caregiving and parental responsibilities. So that's some of the things we've normalized at work that don't make sense for mothers. And if this episode put some language into something that you felt, but maybe couldn't quite name, please know that you're not alone. And these conversations really matter. And the more we start naming the problem, that's the first step towards actually changing it and doing better. I'm Alexa Starks. This is Between Meetings and Motherhood. Thank you for being here, and we will see you in the next episode.